Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Money Matters countdown to October 1, presented by UNC Greensboro Financial Aid Office. Hi, I'm Deborah Slade, Assistant Director for Outreach, and just wanted to bring some information to all of our viewers out there, to all of our Facebook fans and our prospective students, our continuing students. The 2021-2022 FAFSA opens next Thursday, October 1st. Are you going to be ready? So we want you to just kind of hang out with us for a little bit this evening. I'm going to try to give you some tips to help you get ready, what to expect, especially for those of you who are doing this for the first time. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've got a few slides here that I'm going to go ahead and get started for you, just to kind of give you an idea of what to expect. So bear with me. I'm single-handed tonight. I don't have my crew with me, so hopefully next time when you see us, we'll have our crew. So let's see what's happening. Hopefully you can see that. Let's see. Okay. All righty. Oops, let's get that out of the way. All right, so our Money Matters countdown to October 1. We're going to be doing a series of these events every Thursday in October to kind of go over some of the things you need to know to get ready to file the FAFSA, get ready to prepare yourself for financial aid for next year. As I said before, the FAFSA for next year opens on October 1st. And what is FAFSA, for those of you who are doing this for the first time? That is the free application for federal student aid. So let me go to this next slide, because I really want you to know how to contact us and how to get a hold of us. So if you have questions about any of the information that I'm presenting tonight, or if you have questions that come up later, we do want you to be able to get in touch with us. So if you just give us a phone call, our phones are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you are a current student, please enter your UNCG student ID and your UNCG PIN so we can make sure we're giving you the accurate information based on your file. And in order to visit us, you have to have an appointment. We aren't doing walk-ins at this point, but you do need an appointment. If you're a current student, log into Starfish and you can schedule an appointment with one of our counselors at your convenience. If you are a prospective student or a visitor, or you just want some information, why don't you give us a call or send us an email and let us know that you'd like to visit. You can also set up a virtual appointment, so that might be better if that works out for you. So you can email us or send us, give us a call or email us, and that way we'll be able to accommodate you with the appointment. We do want you to take advantage of our web services. We have on our website our chatbot, Minnie, who is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to answer your questions. And she is, oops, clicked off the wrong thing. Let me stop sharing it for a second. Let me get my screen back here. Yep. Okay, there we go. Let's try that again. Like I said, I'm fine. I'm solo tonight, so I'm trying to do several things at once. All right, so let's go back there. And let's see if that's sharing. All right, so we're back to Minnie. All right, so let's go see if we can move on to the next slide. Yeah, there she is. So there's Minnie, our chatbot. So Minnie's available to you 24/7, 365 days out of the year. So if you have a question at 3 a.m. that you want to need an answer to at that particular moment, go ahead and give Minnie a buzz. So she's on our website. Also, for your current students, if you're trying, and for prospectives, if you need to get documents to our office, please use our document uploader. So those of your current students, you have access to this through your UNC Genie portal online. And if you go to the financial aid tab, you can just click that little link there that says financial aid document upload process, upload those documents, and it goes right into your file. So that way you can be assured that that information is getting directly to you. So let's get into why we're here tonight. So this is these first few slides are geared more to our new students. So what we want you to do is to kind of develop a game plan for how you're going to approach this whole college funding thing, because it's not a one and done. It's not that you just do it one time and then you're done. You're going to have to do this every year. So it would be good to just put a plan in place. So the first thing you want to do, you're going to have questions. You're going to have a ton of them. So ask those questions, write them down, and then write down the answers, because you can refer back. You're not going to remember everything. There's going to be so much information coming at you at once. So you want to make sure you have a place where you can hold all this information, come back to it when you need to, and you won't be scrambling and trying to find answers to questions that you've already gotten answers to. Pay attention to deadlines. This is the most important piece of information I think I can give you. There are deadlines, and they're hard and fast, and there are no exceptions in many cases. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to deadlines. That includes your college application deadlines, your testing deadlines, and especially for completing your scholarship and financial aid information. Those deadlines are important. For FAFSA filing, the FAFSA is open again, October 1 through June 30th of the next academic year. So, but you don't want to wait until the last minute, because in many cases, when you file the FAFSA, the first group, the early bird, gets the worm in a vernacular. So what you want to do is make sure that you're on top of things. So remember, if you're attending UNCG, October 1 to January 15th, and this is new, the priority filing period has been extended to January 15th. So you have a longer window. So make sure you take advantage of that. File early. That's the best opportunity to get the best package of financial aid. Communicate. Now, when I say communicate, I mean communicate with everybody. Communicate with your counselors. Communicate with your schools that you're surveying. With the financial aid office. For our current students, definitely communicate with us, because there's important information that we need to transact, and things that information we need to get to you, and you need to get information to us, and you need to understand what it is that we're asking for. Communicate with student and parent. This is a partnership. So you're going to go at this together, because as I said before, there's a lot of information that you're having to navigate through. And it's going to take a team to do this. So be a partnership. You have somebody, help you out with maybe handling the email messages and handling following up, keeping files together, making sure you have all of the documents that you need, keeping up with those deadlines, set calendar reminders and that kind of thing. And I have down here, do your part, but don't do it all. So again, as I said, it's a partnership between parent and student. We want everybody informed and everybody in the loop, and everybody knowing what's going on. But that doesn't mean that one person does it all. So parents, please allow your students to partner and participate, because after all, it is their file, it is their information. Students, get your parents involved, let them help, because they're pieces of information that you need from them as well. And everybody wants to know what's going on. You want to keep everybody in the loop so that you don't fall through the cracks, and so things don't get left undone. So make sure that you are partnering together, you're communicating, you're keeping up with what's going on, and keeping everybody up to date on your statuses. I would suggest setting up an email specifically for scholarship searches and financial aid information. That way you can keep that separate, because a lot of times, if you're like me, your inbox is flooded I won't tell you how many emails are in my inbox. My coworkers would probably scream, and I know some of them are probably who've seen my inbox are like, ah. But set up an email specifically for that so that you can keep that separate and it doesn't get lost in some of the other stuff that you're getting, all of your regular everyday stuff, and check it often. And while we're on the topic of email, let's talk about that email address on your college app. Yeah, this is a time to think about setting up a professionally sounding email username. Because as you go forward, you're building a professional persona and you want to make sure that you're taken seriously. Now, there's nothing wrong with having personality involved, but tastefully done. And also so that it's not something that in 3 years when you're a junior and you're maybe applying for an internship and you don't want to use your university mail and you're not ashamed to use that personal email. So think about that because that's really going to be important as you go forward. The other checklist is attend college access and paying for college events. The one that comes to mind is the North Carolina Countdown to College, and that's going to be held in a couple of weeks. I think it's October 19th. Put the link here, cfnc.org, Apply to College, North Carolina Countdown to College. And this is an event where, especially for our prospective students, this is so important that you key in on these 3 pieces of information: getting your residency status set up, making sure you go through that residency requirement, making sure you do complete your college application, and completing your FAFSA. So those 3 pieces are going to be covered in that. So I encourage you to go to that website. And by the way, I do have these slides in PDF. And if you'd like a copy, just send an email to finaid@uncg.edu and ask for a copy of the slides that we held on this Facebook Live tonight. So we'll be able to get that out to you. So you can have the links in this. Most of our high schools are holding events. It's going to look a little different. A lot of them are going to be virtual, but that's okay. It's still information that you need. You need to make plans to attend, to view the events. If it's videotaped, if it's a live virtual event, please make sure that you're there. A lot of colleges and financial aid offices are going to be represented. They're going to be providing information that's going to help you know what you need to do, what steps you need to take. Every school is different. So you want to make sure that you're getting the information that's relative to that particular school, be it for admissions, for financial aid, for whatever. You want to make sure that you are comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges when you're making your selections and looking over your information. So make sure you attend those events. Talk with your high school counselors or your college advisors about events that are planned. These guys are terrific and they work so hard to provide this kind of information for you. Check out websites. A lot of them have newsletters, so make sure you're signed up on those lists. Read that information, share it with your parents so that everybody, again, as I said, has the information. The other thing that is so key, and this one's close to my heart because I do financial literacy for some of the classes on our campus. And there's nothing more important than knowing how to manage your money. When you're talking about setting up a college funding plan, you have to know, first of all, how to budget, how to manage your money. In many cases, you're going to be getting money in a lump sum at the beginning of a semester, and you're going to have to make that stretch for the full semester. So you may get money in August that's going to have to last through December. So you want to make sure you can manage that and you know how to do that. So there's some very good personal finance resources at cfnc.org. There's that whole financial literacy course. And if you go through that financial literacy course, this is the thing that's really cool about this. You can win a scholarship So I think it's in your best interest to do that, if nothing else, to get the scholarship, to be in that pool. So make sure you follow through on some of this stuff, because it is super important that you do learn how to take care of your finances. Mom and dad might not be right there. You may be living on campus, you may be going out of state, you may be going to a number of different situations. And it may be difficult or inconvenient, rather, to call to get a couple dollars here, or to take care of those things. So, and your parents are going to feel better too if you are able and capable of managing your money and taking care of your finances. So it's really important that you take care of that you do that. So let's move into some of the things that you'll need to do to start actually looking for money. So right now, the most important thing you can do, if you haven't already done that, is set up your FSA ID. This is your Federal Student Aid ID that you will use to log into your FAFSA and to sign it. Parents, you will need an FSA ID as well. So again, set those up. When you're creating your, and you can go to, I think I have those slide, the next slide has the web address. But when you go to FAFSA.gov, there'll be a link there. If you don't have one, you can go ahead and set it up and create it there. But you want to make sure that you do that. Parent and student, you must have separate email addresses in order to move through the process. Your Social Security name and date of birth will be used to verify your identity. So make sure you're using your legal name as it appears on your Social Security card. Be careful about typos. When you're typing that in, be very, very careful. And parents, remember that partnership thing. This is one of those things I don't want you to do for your student. Your student needs to set up their own FSA ID, because they need to know what this is. They need to be able to remember this and recall this information. As part of the security process, you'll set up challenge questions. So again, I think there's 5 of those. You'll need to make sure that you provide answers that you're going to be able to remember. Excuse me. These will be used to help you reset your password if you forget it, or if you get locked out of your account. You can also use your email address or your cell phone as your as a security feature as well. So if you verify those, then they will send you a code either to your email or to your or text your code, and that way you can unlock your account or reset your password that way. There's also a mobile app to do the FAFSA. And that's really convenient, because you can download it to your smartphone. You can go ahead and log in with your FSA ID, and you do have to have that in order to log into the mobile app. But it's so convenient. You can go ahead and get it started. You can save it. And if you need to come back in and do more information, or if your parents need to log in, if you save it on your mobile app, your parents can go onto a laptop and log in and create, and complete their section or their portion of it. So it's really cool. So you really need to do that. So yeah, so as you prepare to file the FAFSA, you're going to need that FSA ID. And for the upcoming 2021-2022 FAFSA, it's going to be a mouthful to say, you will need access to your 2019 tax and income information. So that's the one that you just filed. So if you did TurboTax or any of the tax filing software, go ahead and pull up a copy, put that again in a file somewhere so you'll have it. I won't go into a lot of the details of the tax information. We're going to talk about that as we go through these series. And I'll have my whole crew with me, and we can go through that in more detail, but just know that you will need that. You'll also need your Social Security number for both parent and student. And if you have a driver's license, you'll need to have that. So you can provide that number. If you're not a US citizen, you will need your alien registration number. And also you need to have records of your untaxed income, like child support. And right now, for the life of me, I cannot think of sources of untaxed income. This is horrible. Chris is going to hurt me. And then you'll also need asset information like your cash, savings, and investments, and that kind of thing. So again, we're going to go into a lot more detail on these things as we go through these next few sessions. I just wanted to kind of give you some highlights so that when next week rolls around, you'll be ready. You'll have all of this stuff together, or at least you'll you'll start looking for it. So yeah, here we go. Here's the FSAID website. So please go there, set this up. This is an important piece of information. As I said before, this is what you will use to sign your FAFSA. It's what you will use to access all of the federal websites that house your financial aid information. So this is really crucial, and it's important information, and because it is tied to your date of birth and social security number, this is information that you want to keep separate and keep secure. So don't share this with anyone. You can use this throughout the years. Parents, here's a neat thing. You can use, if you have more than one student in college, you can use your same FSA ID and sign the FAFSA for all of your students. So you don't need to create separate ones for each student. Each student needs their own FSA ID, but parents, you just need one, okay? All right. As I said, I'm on here by myself tonight, so I'm not able to see your questions if you're putting anything into the comment screen. I will go back after the session and answer those questions. And I should have done this before, but we do have a web site open that you can go ahead and post your questions before each event. And I'll put that in the comment section as we move forward. Yeah, as I said about the email address. Sorry. So here's the, yeah. All right. So this is what the FAFSA homepage looks like for those of you who've not ventured there. So you have a place to your login. If you are a new user, new to the FAFSA process, brand new student, so you'll log in where it says start here, new to FAFSA process. If you're a returning student, or if you've already filed the FAFSA and you need to go back in and do corrections, you'll click the link for returning user. So now we talked about the FAFSA. I know I'm going really quickly here because I want to see once we get through this if there are any questions in the comment section. But the next thing on your list is to look for scholarships. These are the things you need to be doing now. Scholarship applications are open for next year. So start looking for scholarships. There are a number of different places that you can look. I've got a listing up here on the screen that you can check out. As I mentioned before, your high school counselors and college advisors are a great source of information about scholarships because they really do try to get as much information together for you as possible. So make sure that you, again, any websites that are dedicated to seniors for scholarships, make sure you follow through on those. For current students, for our current Spartans, if you'll go to the financial aid office website. Now, our scholarship applications haven't opened yet, but you will be able to click on the link for UNCG scholarships and you'll see the message when they do open. But that doesn't mean that you can't look for outside or private scholarships. And we do encourage you to do that. And these are some sources of, or some resources that can help you find scholarships that are outside of the federal, state, or institutional realm. So these are things that you can look for on your own. Private scholarship searches, these again, there are databases out there that house, just a ton of information on available scholarships. You have to cull through it. These are free searches. They will not guarantee you a scholarship or the amount, and they're free. So here again, please do not pay anybody to do scholarship searches for you. Do not pay anyone to do the FAFSA for you because the first word in that acronym is free. free application for federal student aid. Let me move my head out of the way. See, free, wrong side, FAFSA. Anyway, so these are some links that are databases that have just a ton of information about available scholarships. They will list the scholarship's name, the amount, the donor's information, some of the brief overview of the eligibility requirements, but you have to do the work. You have to go to the site. You have to find out if the scholarship is actually one that you might qualify for. You have to complete the application, be it an essay or a lot of scholarship donors are now doing videos or short pieces, digital pieces as an application. So again, there are a multitude of ways to apply for scholarships, and we want you to make sure that you are taking advantage of all of those. Some other resources and places where you can find information. Of course, we're always ready to help you. You can go to our website. You can look at, if you want to try to get an idea of like, well, what may it cost to go to college? I don't know. We have an estimator that gives you kind of an overview. Again, this is tied to our actual, our cost for the current academic year. So if you're planning to attend UNCG, this is a really good way to kind of get an idea of like, what is it going to cost for a semester at college. Now these are, that's only going to tell you, excuse me, what would be paid directly to the university. As we go forward, we'll talk more about some of the other costs that come into play, like books and, this personal miscellaneous stuff. But right now, I'm just wanting to whet your appetite for getting started and getting out there and looking for money. So again, these are the sites. College Foundation of North Carolina. You can find our North Carolina state programs that are for North Carolina residents. There are just a ton of those there. So we do encourage you to go there. CFNC just has a wonderful site. So they have a lot of good information there. So I definitely encourage you to use that resource. The U.S. Department of Education, studentaid.gov, where you go file the FAFSA. That's also lots of resources there for how to file the FAFSA, just overall financial aid information, what types of aid, a breakdown of the different categories and what they mean. There's also a really good resource for students getting ready to enter college for the first time, and if you're returning to college, and adults if you're going, is the Prepare for College checklist. You can download a PDF copy. It's about a 27-page booklet, and it's broken down by sections based on grade level and or your whether you're a returning student, returning to college after a break, or an adult student. So that's a really good piece. And then if you're on the FAFSA and you're in there and you have some questions, there are helps within the FAFSA that give you like details and explanations of some of the terminology, and you can do that, or you can call 1-800-4FED-AID to get help with the FAFSA. So that's real-time help. So someone will answer the phone and help walk you through that FAFSA and help you get your questions answered. Let's see, what else have I got here? Oh, other resources. If you have military affiliated services, or if you're, please make sure you check out these types of resources as well, because those education benefits may be available to, if your parents have military service and they're not using, they may be able to use them for you. So you guys check that out. Vocational rehabilitation services can also help with, they even help with some financial benefits. So helping with tuition assistance. So another good service to check that out if you think you might have need of that. And am I at the last? I am. So what I want to tell you about is next week, or every week, as I said before, in October, we are going to have a series called FAFSA 101. And every Thursday, we're going to talk about a different topic. And it's going to be right here on Facebook Live. Each week, as I said, we're going to cover a different topic. So next week, we're going to talk about actual filing the FAFSA and the overview of that and what that looks like. So we're going to give you a bird's eye view of that and give you some checklists to keep you on track and to make sure that you're following through and hopefully, help answer any questions. And here's that link I was talking about. So, and I'll post that again. If you have questions, maybe you're sitting here and you're like, oh, that's so much information, I just don't know. Go ahead and pop those questions in that form for us. We'll go ahead and collect those. And especially if it's relative to the topic that we're talking about that evening, we definitely want to be able to answer that. And we can maybe even tailor some of our information to make sure that we capture your question and capture the answers to your question. So make sure you go ahead and do that. And if you miss a session, don't panic. It will be available again as a video on our Facebook page. So we encourage you to go ahead and take care of that. So I am going to stop screen sharing for just a second, and then I'm going to take a look and see where we are on our questions. If anything's popped into our chat section here. Okay. Alrighty. All right. Well, it looks like we don't, but that's okay. Alrighty. Okay, well, what I can do, I still have a little bit of time. I didn't think I was going to be here for the whole session anyway, but that's okay. That's fine. I am planning to try to answer some of these things. So let me go back to the, let me get into the comments section and see. All right, so let me leave these, well, thanks, Amy. Let me leave this link here that I wanted to tell you about. So let me put that link for the forms for the, if you have questions. So let me put that in there for you. And why is it not letting me? I see. All right. All right. Well, I may have to come back and do that because it's not letting me go to the comment section of this just yet. Here we go. There we are. All right, so here's the link for the Google form. If you need to, if you want to leave questions for us, so please go ahead and do that. And I also want to tell you about a wonderful program that's going to be coming up next week, next Monday. So let me share this with you as well, because this is such a let's see. Well, I am simply challenged here tonight, so I'm just going to okay. Okay. All right, so let me share that because that is such a good option, and I definitely want you to take advantage of that. Let's see. Let me go back over here. Let me dump that. All right, so hopefully you can see that. This is a program that's going to be on Facebook Live next week, Monday, and it's hosted by, I am not going to pronounce this correctly, so please forgive me. Okay, Stella, I love you, dear. The Adelante North Carolina Coalition, and they will be hosting a program on tools for college planning, regardless of immigration status. So this is really key. They're going to provide you with so much information. So check out that event next Monday at 6 p.m. on Facebook Live. It's really going to be helpful. So make sure you go ahead and take care of that. If you know of anybody who can use this information, please pass that on to them. We definitely want to make sure that they are getting all of the information and getting these resources, because this is so key. And check out this site anyway, because they had a really good video, a really good event a couple of weeks ago. So we definitely want to go back and check that out if you missed it. So yeah, so much potential. Tools for planning, for college planning, regardless of immigration status. So yeah, check that out. Okay. All righty. Well, let's see what else we got going on here. I still don't have any questions yet, but that's okay. I am still very, very happy that you guys were joining on tonight. And again, if you weren't able to join, that's fine. We will be posting this video to our Facebook page, and you can grab that later. So just going back on our checklist of things that you might want to make sure that you're taking care of and that you're following up on. You just don't want to, I can't stress enough not paying somebody to do a scholarship search for you. You really should not pay anybody to do that. There's so many free resources available. All of the financial aid offices of colleges have this information for free. So take advantage of that. When you're dealing with the financial aid office, one of the things that we encourage you to do is, again, as I said in the opening session, write down your questions and write down the answers to the questions, and make sure that you understand the answers that you're given, because it's key. There's so much information. And again, I keep saying that, and I'm not trying to intimidate you or make you afraid, but it is a lot of information, and it's really important that you are getting a good understanding. So it's okay if you have to ask the question and maybe ask it in a different way, or ask us to give you the information in a different way. So we really do want to make sure that you are, you're well versed, that you have everything that you need, and that you are not, left in the dark, and that you missed something important because something didn't get answered for you. So make sure you do that. So again, we just want to make sure that you have a good understanding of your financial aid process, some of the things that you need to take care of as you go forth, as you're on this journey, because it is a journey. Pace yourself. Don't try to do everything at once, but don't wait until the last minute to do everything. So make sure that you are setting up a calendar, a schedule of when to do things. I mentioned before that scholarship applications are open now. So you want to, when you start your search, you don't have to do them all at once. And that can seem a little intimidating, overwhelming. So what you'll want to do is set up a calendar or a schedule of when you're going to do things. So maybe, I don't know, an hour, a week, or 2 hours a week is be dedicated to your scholarship search. So you will write down, which scholarship you're looking for, what the requirements are, what's needed, when it's due, and then pace yourself. If it's an essay, then you want to make sure that you're doing it, you're doing your best, and writing, and your best writing will be put forward on that. So again, yeah, just make sure that you are doing your best, that you know, that you're taking advantage of all of the financial aid opportunities that are afforded to you. And oh, I got a question. I'm so excited. Liz wants to know, do you need to reapply for this upcoming spring semester? So Liz, if you are a current student and you filed the FAFSA for the 2021 academic year, that covers the current fall semester as well as the spring semester. And for UNCG students, it also covers summer of 2021. So if you're planning to be enrolled in spring and summer, you don't need to redo the FAFSA for spring semester. But if you're going to be coming back in August of 2021, then yes, you need to do the 2021-2022 FAFSA. Is that right? Yeah, 21-22 FAFSA. So yeah, so you do need to do that. If you need any help, as I mentioned before, and I keep repeating myself, we are going to be here every week at 6 p.m. live, going over FAFSA information. We're going to take different topics, and that way we can, you know, break it down and not run through it and rush through it. I put a link there for a Google form. If you have questions, even if you don't have them right now, if you think of something later, click on that link, leave your questions so that we can make sure that we're covering those things that are important to you and covering those things that you need to know. So thanks, Liz. Thanks for your question. If you're watching and you again have questions, and I guess I can put up what we're next week we're going to be talking about how to just an overview of the FAFSA, not how to, an overview of what we're going to be doing, how we are how to do, what to do on the FAFSA. So some of the things to some pitfalls. Let's see, here we go, next week. Let me just put that in there for you. Yeah. All right, so next week is October 1. Yeah, so we want to make sure that you follow through on coming back and getting those questions answered and doing what you need to do. Follow us on social media. We'll be posting updates and reminders to do these kinds of things. And again, we just invite your questions and invite you to, to check in on our website, or give us, shoot us an email if you have questions. We really would like to take your questions here because sometimes your questions help someone else. So someone else may have a question, they didn't ask it because they thought, I don't know about that. But then when you post it, that helps them as well. So anything, there are no silly questions, only the ones that you did not ask are those we would call silly questions. So but yeah, so get on those scholarships, to go ahead and start looking for them, beating the bushes. And if your employer has any type of scholarship program or tuition reimbursement programs, so you want to make sure that you are taking advantage of those. So check with your employer parents, check with your bosses, check with your HR department to see if that's part of your benefits package. Every little bit helps. Even saving, and a lot of people think, well, I haven't saved anything for college yet. Well, that's okay. That's all right. And maybe you've eaten through your savings in this, and I will not use that unword, but these interesting times, let's use that. But if you can just put aside a few dollars here and there, that will help more than you realize. in most cases, books are out-of-pocket expenses. They, they don't get billed to you directly from the university. I mean, you can still use financial aid to pay for them, but a lot of times you'll have to, go to a bookseller or order them online and pay for them. Well, if you start saving, a couple of dollars a week now, by the time August rolls around, you may have enough to buy, to help out with some of the book costs or to offset that. Or for transportation, like trips back and forth home during the semester, during breaks and that kind of thing. So again, every little bit helps. So don't despise the small stuff. Go ahead and get that, dust off that piggy bank and start dropping pennies in there. Do they still make pennies? Yeah, I guess they do. Okay, so go ahead and do that, because all of those things are going to be helpful. And you will definitely reap the benefits of that. So thanks, Bruce, for helping out. Bruce is one of my teammates, so I'm glad to see him in the comment section there. We're glad that I know that a few people were joining in, so I'm glad that you were here. Thank you so much for your support, and I do hope that you're going to be able to come back in next week and view our session. We'll have our fabulous, fantastic crew from our verification team. Chris Ratliff, Dr. Chris Ratliff, Dr. Chris will be in the house along with Lauren, and not sure who else is going to be joining us, but we're just really excited about that. So you get to see some of the people behind the scenes face to face. You get to put some faces to those names that maybe you've gotten emails from. Yes, they're real people that work in our office. But yeah, this would be a good opportunity to kind of see a different face. So a lot of you current students, you've seen my face from SOAR, from Destination, from all of those events, from your FYE classes. I don't know if any of you are in some of those financial literacy sessions that I've done for you. So I'm pretty sure you're tired of my face. So tune in next week and the weeks following. You'll get to see a fresh face for financial aid. So we're really happy that you've joined us. Got about about 13, 14 more minutes here. In case somebody else has a question or wants to come in, I'll just hang out for a bit. Again, I'll post, I'll show you our flyer again so that you can see. Okay, that's not the flyer I was looking for. So not the droids we're looking for. Sorry, I'm just a bit giddy today. I'm a little nervous, a little excited. So hang out, just bear with me. Yeah, so let me share this with you and you can see. I am so hoping that you guys are seeing what I'm sharing, because if you're not, I'm going to be suitably embarrassed that I may have shown you something really weird on this screen here. So, okay, let's see, get it? I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's our flyer for the whole program, for the whole series. So again, you can see the topics that are going to be coming up each week. So we want you to take advantage of that. Make sure that you're here, write down your questions or put them in that Google Drive, so Google's form, so we can have something to work with. We know what we want to talk about, but again, if that's not what you need to know, then that's not going to help you very much. So we want to know what you need to know, so that we can make sure that we're giving you the information that's going to be most helpful to you. Well, all right, so I've got about 10 minutes left, and I don't see any new questions coming in, but a couple things I want you to think about as you're looking at and determining what you're going to be doing as you go forward. again, think about costs, think about where you're going to be going. Don't take anything off the table. At this point, look at all of your options and map out a plan that's going to work for you, so that you can see, that you do have options in case, plan A doesn't pan out, or maybe, as you delve more into that, you're like, I don't know if I want to do that. Make plans, make several options so that you have some fallbacks, and you have some things that you can do that will not limit you in your educational endeavors. So we want to make sure that you're doing that. Okay, so 10 minutes to go, and I think this has been an eye-opener for me. It's been a new thing for me. I've done lots of presentations face-to-face with groups, hundreds of people. This is a little bit more intimidating, I have to say. But again, we all learn, and we're all doing things a little differently and doing things, new things. But as we move into this FAFSA filing period, there are going to be a lot of new pieces of information coming forward. Again, I don't want you to be intimidated. Don't want you to be afraid. Please ask questions. Please let us know what your concerns are, what your questions are, so that we can make sure that, again, you have the right answers and that you're on the right track. Excuse me. Yeah, we've been doing this for a long time, so it comes easily for us most of the time. But we know that, we can be a resource for you, and that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that we're a resource for you. This is a good time to ask those questions now. We've gotten through the rush of the beginning of the semester. So now that things are kind of settled, as far as, we've gotten all of the major work done as far as getting, aid paid out and getting people, their monies and getting people in their classes. So now we can focus on the next year, which is what we're doing. And so we have some time now, so we can maybe give you a little bit longer explanation if you need that. Again, let me just repeat that if you want to speak with the financial aid counselor, we're happy to do that. Our phone hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Our phone number is 336-334-5702. If you prefer to communicate by email, that's fine. You can email us at finaid@uncg.edu. And if you want to speak with someone personally, individually, you can do that. You have to have an appointment. We don't have walk-in hours anymore, or drop-ins. So you have to have an appointment that allows us to maintain our social distancing requirements and be able to still give you the personalized help that you need. So you will need an appointment. Our current students, again, you can schedule an appointment through Starfish. If you are not a UNCG student and you'd like to come, you'd like to speak with a counselor, have an appointment, you can also do a virtual appointment. So just send us an email, let us know, or give us a phone call and let us know that you would like to have an appointment. And again, we can talk on the phone as well. So the phones are just as helpful as a face-to-face meeting. In a lot of cases, it's more convenient sometimes because you don't have to travel. But we can do the virtual. We can do a Zoom meeting with you if you need to do that. All right, so we're coming up on 5 till 7. Most of you, I'm sure, want to go ahead and get dinner. So I am, again, most appreciative, very thankful that you decided to join tonight. I hope you got some answers. I hope that your interest has been piqued, that you will come back and join us next week and the weeks thereafter for our FAFSA filing workshops. We're not able to do those face-to-face. We used to do those in our office every week in October and November. Unfortunately, we're not able to do that now. So we thought we'd do this as a way of still providing information, providing help with your FAFSA questions in a different environment. So we're hopeful that you will take advantage of that. All right. So thank you again for joining us. Let me give you one more time our schedule of events with Thursdays, Facebook Live, 6 p.m. right here on our Financial Aid Office Facebook page. Again, look for updates and reminders on our Instagram and on our Twitter account. And I did not put the links in there. I'll put those in the comments as we go out. And looking forward to getting your questions and your comments as we move forward. And again, just happy to be able to provide this service and provide this help for you. Make sure, again, that you attend any virtual events for our prospective students, any virtual events that are presented to you by your high school. Our admissions teams will be on the road and on the road, virtually on the road. And so if you see events that are highlighting UNCG admissions folk, please make sure you tune in. You might see a familiar financial aid face in some of them. You never know. So be on the lookout for that. So we just want to make sure that you're getting all of the information that you need and that you're getting all of the help that you need. So again, email finaid.uncg.edu, our webpage, fia.uncg.edu. You can get our bot mini, and we definitely want you to take advantage of mini, because mini's not just for financial aid. Mini is also available for the registrar's office, the admissions office, and for a lot of different offices. So for first year experience for SOAR. So make sure that you check out Mini so you can just get all kinds of answers. Now you have to put a real question. She won't be able to give you detailed, specific information about your personal account. So for current students, that may be something that you might want to call our office. But if you just have a general question about financial aid, Mini can help you, or a general question about admissions. So if you go to, either the admissions office website, financial aid office, registrar's, cashier's office, that they handle the billing, they have the bot there, so you can also get some of those general questions answered. So we definitely want you to take advantage of that. All right, so there's Mini. And let me go back and find our, stop sharing for just a second. And put up again our contact information so you can remember how to get a hold of us. And there's our Twitter and Instagram handles, so you can find us, and our email address and phone number. So all of those things are important pieces of information to get a hold of us if you have further questions. Well, all right, 2 minutes, 2-minute warning. All right, so thank you again for participating. Remember, if you would like a copy of the slides with the links to all of the websites that I mentioned and I alluded to, just send an email to that finaid@uncg.edu and just say you want a copy, and we'll get that right out to you as quickly as we possibly can. All right. So thank you, folks, for joining me. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you were here. And just want to, again, say thank you. We just really appreciate all of your support. We appreciate that you were with us. And yeah. All right. Okay. So thanks. And signing off, saying bye-bye. And we'll see you next week. All right. Bye-bye.